Good morning. Today our focus will be rewriting word problems as expressions and equations. So we have a long word problem here, and I will read it to you. It says 6 less than the product of -2 and a number is equal to the sum of 9 and the product of a number and 3. So we want to rewrite all these words and make them into a nice, simple equation or expression, depending if we have an equal sign or not. And we're going to be able to solve it if it's an equation and simplify it if it's an expression. So the reason I love math so much is because we take many words and make them into a nice, simple equation to solve. So let's see what we can do here. Number one, let's look at this part right here. 6 less. Okay, it's kind of like a switch word. What happens is when you're taking 6 less than something, you're taking 6 away from it. So when you're working with an expression that has 6 less, you're going to want to subtract 6 from something. So when we replace in our equation this part of the words, we're going to subtract 6 from something. Okay, many students will do 6 minus and get that one wrong. Remember, if you see the word 6 less, 5 less, 2 less, -2 less, you're going to subtract that from something. Okay, so it's going to come at the end of the expression. It's kind of like a switch word. Then the product, okay, no, product means multiply. Usually the word of is also part of a multiplication problem. The product of -2, okay, and a number. What number? I don't know. So when you see the words a number, you're going to change that into a variable. I'll use x. Okay, so let's write this part of the problem here. So we have -2x, the product of -2 and a number. Okay, so that's that. And we have 6 less than that. So we're going to add this -6 at the end or subtract 6. Okay, next is equal to, okay, so that means I'm going to put an equal sign in here. The sum of 9, sum means add, so I know I'm going to add 9 for this part, and the product of a number and 3. Okay, so the product of a number and 3, the sum of 9, and okay, so I'm going to just put the sum, 9 plus, or you can do 3x plus 9. These are commutative, so you can write them either way. And the product of 3 and a number. So we can take all these words and we can make it into a nice, simple equation that we can solve. So just remember, this is the important part, 6 less, or when you see a number less or a variable less, remember you're going to want to subtract that from something. Okay, now to solve this equation, I know there will be a solution. Why do I know that? Because these are different. Remember, if this was -2x and this was -2x on the other side, I would know right off the bat it would be either infinitely many or no solution. Let me just show you here real quick. If I was to change this to -2x, and we would have the same on each side, but these are different, it would be no solution. Okay, so just remember that. We've been going over that this week. And let me go back to my original problem. Okay, step 1, we want to move all variables to one side. I'm going to always move the less of the two numbers or the two variable expressions. So I want to move this to the other side. I'm going to eliminate it there. I'm going to add 2x to this side. Get -6 equals 9 plus 3 plus 2 is 5x. Next step, I want to move the 9 away from the 5x so I can get it by itself. I'm going to subtract 9. Because there's no sign in front of the 9, it's a +9. That cancels out. I get -15 equals 5x. I am going to divide by 5. Cancel out. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1x equals -15 divided by 5. I have a negative and a positive, so I know it's a negative. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay, so this was a little bit of a review of working from words into expressions or equations. Thank you for watching. Okay, here's one for you to try for your do now today. 2 less than the product of -6 and a number is equal to 18 less than the product of -6 and a number. So you're going to rewrite that as an equation, and you are going to attempt to solve it if possible. Please submit your answer